Welcome back to Muscle Cars Universe and to the jolliest period of the year. It's SEMA show season. After attending this marvelous event multiple times in the past years, I've grown overly fond of the American aftermarket automotive industry, not to mention my involvement as a judge from New Zealand at SEMA's Global Media Awards. Simply put, the level of craftsmanship of American car builders is just unreal, and clearly unmatched when it comes to classics, muscle cars, trucks, resto mods, off-roaders and anything in between. In this episode, I'm gonna deep dive into the most anticipated builds to be unveiled and displayed at the 2024 SEMA show next week. Starting off with Nostalgia Hot Rods, the team led by Dustin Hecker are not new to groundbreaking vehicles, as we have seen with Roadrunner, a 1969 Plymouth Roadrunner presented last year and in my opinion the most appealing and extensive resto mod I've ever seen debuting at SEMA, period. I still remember their cars showcased in the Toyo Tread Pass, and they are looking at replicating this very same experience in 2024 by presenting a total of 7 cars, of which 5 are new builds. First off is the most anticipated 1970 Chevy Chevelle that will be displayed at the C-Tech Chargers booth. This car is pretty serious and a total ground-up build with custom interiors, panel and paint, engine bay, suspensions, chassis and so forth. The full works as usual. Then we have Dracon, a 1970 Pontiac Firebird that's promising blistering performance with wider wheel arches, custom panel work and a 427 twin-turbo Nelson Racing Engines package. And what about the 1968 Dodge Charger, codenamed Violent, with an Hellcat motor swapped into it? Rest assured, Nostalgia Hot Rods is poised to steal the show and a very favorable placement in the BOTB competition, or Battle of the Builders. Moving on to the very impressive 1969 Ford F100 bump side renamed Clyde. This truck is being completely rebuilt with carbon fiber panels by Brothers Composites and Fat Fender Garage. It's visually staggering just by looking at the teasers. Can't imagine how insane it's going to look under the bright lights of the Las Vegas Convention Center. The performance specs are also quite impressive, with a Shelby 5.2-liter GT500 engine swap and an output of 760 horsepower, a Tremec Magnum 6-speed transmission, Porter-built coilover chassis, custom billet Bayer brake calipers and lots of billet parts all around. Also notice the subtle branding of Clyde all over the build, synonymous with attention to detail and thorough commitment by these talented craftsmen. The wheels are a real killer too, completely custom milled out of a solid billet block and designed just for this truck alone. Next up is Blazin Rods, presenting some really incredible frame-off builds. With well over 4,000 horsepower between 2 rides, Blazin Rods is set to shake and stir up the SEMA show venue like never seen before. First off is a 2800 horsepower twin-turbo 1970 Chevy Chevelle SS that's been completely stripped off its former heavy Chevy character, while filled with aggressiveness, cutting-edge parts and a killer look like only the team at Blazin Rods can deliver. I have followed this build throughout the whole year and it sounds just as promising as it looks. Please admire the front-end split intercoolers and carbon intakes, the twin-turbo exhaust system, the beautiful satin grey finish and the exposed chassis work. A masterfully executed creation showing early symptoms of a potential Battle of the Builders SEMA winner this year. A true work of art that deserves recognition. The second car that Blazin Rods are bringing to the show is a rumored 1970 Dodge Charger equipping the Mopar 426 Hemi 1500 horsepower crate motor. These guys just don't muck around for sure. And what about the all-new 1969 Mustang carbon fiber wide body known as Scorched, that's currently in the works by Blazin Rodz, a company that specializes in creating bespoke muscle cars using advanced carbon fiber technology. It's the brainchild of Jason Anvil, the same mastermind behind the successful classic restorations and one of the first Shelby and Ford licensed builders to manufacture new classic Mustangs from scratch. Bringing his fresh wealth of experience to Blazin Rodz, Jason has conceived a truly remarkable concept car that will definitely stun the world when unveiled next week. Garret's Rod Shop, the creator of the infamous and panty-dropper 1968 Barracuda from the 2019 edition of SEMA, are now bringing Slammer, a 1972 Chevy Camaro split bumper that blends old style with modern touches, like the custom front grille, new wheel and tire combo with disc brakes, and a freshened up interiors with digital gauges and upholstery work. Premier Street Rod have reached truck heaven with the stunning 1961 Ford F100 unibody renamed Nightmare. This thing has been completely stripped and modified to turn it from an otherwise practical and common truck into a show-stopping slammed marvel with suicide doors, Tiffany blue interiors with billet steering wheel, new seats, switches and manual transmission, and rumbling V8 of unknown specs yet. Can't wait to find out more about it at the show. Moving on to the exciting BBT Fab, these guys are veterans at the SEMA show, with plenty of great builds from past editions like the award-winning and totally custom 1969 Pontiac Firebird and this latest 1969 Dodge Charger spotted at multiple events in California. 2024 is finally the time for this 1971 Plymouth Duster to shine. A Hellcat swapped, full polished metalwork custom build seeing the light of day after more than 2 years in the making. Coming from the impressive 2023 edition and the infamous F600 custom crew cab that left an indelible mark in the history of the SEMA show, the team at Classic Car Studio Speed Shop wants to double down this year by presenting an all-new 1968 Dodge Charger that's already won Best Street Machine of the Year award at the 2024 Triple Crown of Rodding. Not much else can be said about this beautiful creation, and speaking of winners, we'll be able to admire these other two stunning vehicles from Triple Crown of Rodding at SEMA 2024. First being the recipient of the Street Cruiser of the Year award, the Kindig Design 12 Air, a totally bonkers 1953 Chevrolet Corvette sporting a custom V12 engine, a curved rear glass window, and only the charm that Kindig can imbue his creations with. Last, the recipient of the Street Rod of the Year award is this 1932 Ford built by Johnson's Hot Rods and rocking a glamorous pink-black flaming paint job. Outstanding stuff indeed that needs to be seen in person to be fully appreciated. Next is the 1967 Chevy Nova wagon that's going to be unveiled at the FI Tech booth. A truly remarkable car we don't really know many details about, given the level of secrecy behind this build. In typical Road to SEMA fashion, the anticipation is strong here, considering the immaculate paint job with a full digital dash interiors conversion matched to a comprehensive upholstery cream leather customization. Staying on Chevy business, the crew at Old Anvil Speed Shop is giving this 1962 Chevy Impala a complete makeover and reviving it in typical resto mod fashion. Ready to hit the showgrounds next week with a freshened up custom panel work matched with a fully custom in-house built chassis and frame and a 1000 horsepower capable Kong Performance supercharger slapped on a Nelson Racing Engines LS. Oh, and it's a convertible too with King Shock suspension system all around, which we usually see on top-tier off-road builds only. Very intriguing to see how this solution plays out for them. Stepping now into off-road territory, here's another build I've been following for about a year now. The extremely talented Joel at Overkill Racing and Chassis has managed to conceive yet another masterpiece with this 632 blueprint-powered mini monster truck. The custom fabrication level here is just as impressive as the 3D design modeling, with the most crucial part being the 4-in-1 mirrored exhaust system you see in the back. Getting to see how Joel managed to engineer, weld, and execute this build through these past few months has been refreshing and educational at the same time. Can't wait to see this mini monster truck unveiled next week. Next is Gerald, a true labor of love built by Clyde, a 1966 Chevy C10 rocking an LS2 408 stroker engine with full custom roll cage, full-blown racing interiors, racing suspensions, and a really tidy and neat engine bay. And what about that patina look? That's amazing, eh? Some honorable mentions before we close this feature, starting from the obvious ultra-successful and well-established Ring brothers. Same as last year, the duo from Wisconsin are bringing 3 new builds that will be unveiled at the 2024 SEMA show. First one being a 1970 Plymouth Cuda called Infected, rocking a Mopar 800 horsepower Hellcrate red-eye engine and rumored to be finished in bright shades of high-impact colors from the 1970s Mopar options list. Next is Invader, a 1987 Buick Grand National packing a twin-turbo 3.8-liter V6 with almost 1250 horsepower and matched to a 6-speed transmission that's already making the whole industry gossiping about it. Finishing now with Tuca, 1972 Chevrolet Blazer that will shatter all concepts of off-road utility blended with true street performance. Staying on Buick's material, the team at Dutch Boys Hot Rods, another known name in the long list of SEMA exhibitors, are bringing a custom-built Buick Grand National GNX at the show. Not many details are available at this stage, but we are very confident it'll be incredible as usual. Same can be said for the Morgan Clark design that is rumored will make an appearance at SEMA with the Land Cruiser Velar Baja. A desert runner packing the most jaw-dropping suspension setup I've ever seen, an incredible level of craftsmanship, and as a cherry on the cake, the rear-mounted Lamborghini V10 for an optimal off-road weight distribution and a great sound to die for. Usual exhibitors will also include the aforementioned Kindig Design and Chip Foos, 2 real legendary names in the history of the American automotive industry and custom coach building. And that's all for today, guys. Leave a comment below with the vehicle you're looking forward to seeing unveiled at the 2024 SEMA show. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and consider subscribing if you haven't already. I'll see you all next week at SEMA show. Only here at Muscle Cars Universe.